definitely textbook, and something that we were seeing earlier with this hook echo, which is what we look for to indicate a tornado on the radar. That's this little notch here in the middle where we're seeing lighter rainfall. Earlier, it was just a gap. We weren't seeing anything at all. And then we have this part over to the east that looks kind of like a ball. That does indicate that we might have some sort of debris there. It's not necessarily rainfall. We could be seeing that debris that we're also seeing in that correlation coefficient, which is our debris detector. You can see how that kind of matches up there with that little ball that we're seeing on reflectivity. So that is this right here. We have this little notch in the middle where there's nothing really going on. That's the inflow of dry air into that tornadic storm. So the area that we're most likely seeing that tornado is right in here. So that's why we have that little hook. Now it doesn't look as great now because the rain is kind of wrapping around the back side of that as well. When we were looking at it earlier, it did have a more defined signature that we look for. So now we're just seeing a lot of rainfall. So it's about to get dark. It is dark. You're not really going to be able to see much. If you're in Tangipahoa, you're traveling over the interstate there on 55. This just passed over you. So if you're listening to us on the radio, if you're headed northbound to Tangipahoa from Fluker there, you'll definitely want to make sure you can pull off somewhere safe because we are seeing this tornado warned storm. If you're headed north in that direction across Tangipahoa Parish there on 55, you will want to slow down, turn around, make sure that you wait this storm out because we are seeing this tornado warning in effect right now. So taking a look at velocity, we do have a pretty good couplet still. That's where those greens and reds are touching there. So that means winds to and away from the radar. We have a lot of rotation. So we also like to match that up with the debris detection because that can kind of show us where that rotation is. If it matches up with the debris, that means that we might see things being lofted into the atmosphere that are not spherical in nature. So we usually look for raindrops and things like that that fall out of the sky normally during thunderstorms. Now we're not seeing anything like that when you see yellows and blues and things like that in our debris detection. So where you can see those greens and reds matching up, it is aligning now with that debris detection over Tangipahoa. So if you are in Tangipahoa, you do need to take shelter now. And remember, if you're in a mobile home, you'll want to evacuate that area so that you can get somewhere safe and stable. Up to the north towards Kentwood and Lewiston, we are seeing this tornado warning, including you as well, into parts of southern Mississippi there. It does seem to be in effect until 6:30. So make sure that if you're in those areas headed up 55 as well, that you are getting to a safe place. And again, if you're driving on 55 up to the north, it's best to just pull over, find somewhere safe and stable that you can get indoors as well, because we are seeing this very strong thunderstorm. And it does look like we could have maybe some small hail in the middle of this storm where we're seeing those purple colors up to the north. Usually on the back end of a tornadic thunderstorm, we see that larger hail, right, Bruce? Now we're not really seeing an indication of that on Viper from our hail detection, so that's good news. We're not getting that really big damaging hail, but it does seem to be falling apart a little bit more from that textbook definition of a tornado signature that we usually look for. So that's the good news, especially in this newest run.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, we've been tracking this thing now. Again, the possibility of a long track tornado